It's good. There you go. That sums it up. No rambling intro necessary. No, it's been a good experience. The Framework 16, I haven't had too much trouble with it. Its performance is what you'd expect for a 45 watt class processor in a laptop. Battery life, away from the wall. If you just light work, 5-6 hours. And if you're doing anything heavy, like I do 3D animation, you're gonna expect normal 2 hours away from a plug. That's any laptop. They're not reinventing the wheel. It's just how it is, Windows or Mac. So mainly this video, I was gonna open it up here and just kind of check for dust. I've had it for about 6 months now. I got it late February. 6 months of use, I believe about 150 battery cycles. I'll put that on screen for you. No, it's been good, no issues. The keyboard, I know there were some complaints about keyboard stability. Mine's been great. I see no problem with it. I'm on a very early number here. This was batch 2 of the pre-orders. The more recent models, they're starting to introduce like a stabilizer pads for the keyboard underneath it. I got an email about it the other day. I'll add that on the screen. It's going to be included on the newest and any ones they make in the future. We'll have that included. If you have an older model without it, you can order it. Appears to be free of charge. So it hasn't arrived yet. I don't think it's shipping here until, I think they said mid-September, the little pad kit for stabilizing the keyboard, but I don't need it. I got one coming, but yeah, mine's been great for an early batch 2 model. Anyway, I want to take it apart and look for dust after 6 months. As you know, pull these 2 little tabs out, and then the rest of it is just held in by magnets. They come out pretty simply. Same with the touchpad module. You slide down a little bit on the touchpad module. Then it just comes off like that. You get a screw with the computer. This is the only tool you need. Keyboard and I have the number pad module. Again, it's all just held in by magnets. You kind of get underneath it and lift it up. Same with the touchpad. There you go. Now, Framework uses this big, I think they call it a mid plate. It's all labeled, how to take it apart. As you can see, it's all numbered as well, what order they recommend going in for. I think it's gets it just tightened down evenly across the whole board. But yeah, we got to take that off to get to everything underneath. Well, we'll just start. I don't honestly remember if you go 16 down to 1 or 1 to 16, so I believe you go 16 to 1, so I gotta look around and find where the highest number is. I think there's a 17. I think that's it. Yeah, so 17 screws. Yeah, so I'm just gonna take it apart. You start, I believe you go in reverse order, 17 down to 1. Make sure you use the right bit. The one they include is actually 2 different kinds. It's a whatever you want to call that, Torx bit on one end, and if you take it out, Phillips on the other. Yeah, so to take these out, I believe it's the Torx bit one. We'll find 17. And yeah, this does take a minute. There's 17 of them, so you don't do this too often, but obviously feel free to fast forward. I'm not going to stop you. And yeah, everything's labeled. At least the screws anyway are all numbered. They're captive, they won't go anywhere. Just a helpful addition. And underneath, you can see all these pogo pins. That's where your modules connect and interface with. So no ribbon cables, nothing really unplugged. Just the great use of magnets and pogo pins. Well, I gotta look around and find 11 back to the front. I'm not now there it is. I'm not expecting much dust. Fairly clean environment, no pets, no kids, no pets, so keeps things in order. I take care of it. I put it in a laptop sleeve when I go anywhere. And I do go places. I take it to like coffee shops every weekend, so it gets plenty of use. Like I said, 150 battery cycles in, well, 6 months. I have another computer I use as well, just a ultra portable that kind of shares the load. Well, yeah, I haven't had any issues. Performs well, games well. Helldivers at 60 FPS, high settings. I think that's native resolution as well. I use it with an eGPU as well, so you've seen from previous videos. Let me see where I'm at. That was 6. Where is 4? There in the front. I see it. I'm not going to go so far as to pull out the eGPU today, or the graphics card module today. It's a little tricky with one hand. I'd want a tripod. That was what, 3? Where are 2 and 1? It is a little time consuming, but I suppose the engineers probably did it for a reason. Oh, there we go. That's sort of what you get stripping it all apart. There we go. Let's look for dust. Mainly back here. So, you know, I don't deem that to be too bad. Inside the fans, anyway. I'll probably let it go for another 6 months. Wi-Fi card and everything inside has QR codes. You scan them, it takes you right to their website if you want to buy the part or replace the part. No, I'm pretty happy with the way it looks. It has 2 M.2 slots. The main one here, and then there's a half size, I think it's 2230 underneath here. I haven't seen any degradation from like thermal performance, you know, with them stacked on top of each other. No, everything works, does what I need it to do. I do 3D animation work. It is a bit noisy here where I'm at. I'm doing this outdoors for a reason. You have a matte display. Yeah, and it works great outdoors. As you can see, I'll come home, sit on the porch, and browse the internet for a little bit after work, and yeah, the matte display does everything I need it to. Good brightness, good color. You can see it outside. And that's a bit of a rarity in the laptop world. So performance, like I said, has been good. It's been stable. They've had 1 or 2 BIOS updates. That is one complaint Press has had against Framework, is they are kind of slow with BIOS updates. So like I said, the laptop, I don't know, it came out 6 months ago. The longevity is, long-term support is still unknown. We've only had the 1 GPU option, and they have 2 CPU options. It's basically the same thing, the same generation. They haven't released a new motherboard yet for this, and that's just, as of the time of filming, there isn't, as far as I know, another 8000 series AMD 45 watt class chip yet. So once they release those, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how long it takes Framework to come out with a new motherboard with it. They've had 4 motherboards now for their 13-inch machine, so they've shown commitment to that one, and that impressed me enough to take the leap on their 16-inch machine. Yeah, I would recommend it if you're interested in needing a 16-inch class machine and willing to support, you know, what Framework does. I like their commitment to repairability. I'm coming from Mac, so yeah, it's been great. The biggest downside is the operating system, Windows. Like I come from Macs, I much prefer them, but you can't game with a Mac. I didn't like their transition to ARM. You can game even less with an ARM chip, so here I am in Windows land trying it out. So it's been good. I like it. You know, good performance. It's been a good 6 months. Yeah, put all that back together. The reason I couldn't find number 1, it's a little kind of pin you just pull up, disconnects everything. My fault. Yeah, in terms of modules, gotta remember where they go. They just drop right in, connect to the pogo pins. You're not changing, some people think you're not changing them often. You're gonna essentially do what I've done. You find a layout that works for you and leave it. You're not really buying it just because you can swap them around a lot. You buy it for the repairability. Same thing goes for the expansion cards on the sides. You don't buy them because you can swap them around and have fun putting them where you want them. For me anyway, the allure was I can change them if I break them. If the power port wears out over 4 years, I can just put another card in. If I break off a flash drive one day and damage the port, I just put a new port in. You can just swap it out and repair them. It's not because you can swap them around and it's fun. And you put it all back together. Make sure it all works. Push those little tabs in if you want. Should turn right on. Yeah, there you go. Thanks for watching.